Well, howdy, folks. This is Driver Vaughn attempting to do a chat. I think I've got it figured out, except for someone to accept an invite. So we'll find out here shortly if anybody wants to show up and help me figure all this out. Said this would be my first, so I have no idea where the controls are. I'd sure like to give a wrench out to somebody I know to help me block anything that comes in that I don't know about. But at least I see myself on air. So I guess it is a success as far as getting out. So everybody else went to bed early tonight. Usually they hang in a little longer, but it wasn't the normal crew. It wasn't the Jammy Time Bacon with the ladies tonight. Mike stepped up, Mike DeLucia, that usually does the Quagmire on Friday nights, stepped up and had a chat. And I figured, well, somebody else needs to be able to do it if possible. Hey, Cyber. I see Cyber Curtain Twitcher there. I'm sitting here all by myself, Cyber. No, my first attempt. Uh, I'd send you a link if you care for one, just to get in here and see if I know how to do it. Give me a yes if you'd like to step in and talk with me just for a minute so I can see if I can figure this out. So you're my first. It took me 3 attempts. It said it was 1830. That'd be 6:30. I said I don't have it all down yet. That's for damn sure. But I figured somebody that might be strolling through and says, "Oh, I think I know that guy," and step in and see what was going on. Mike had a chat tonight because the girls didn't show up and didn't hear from him or anything. So Mike took the reins and started a chat, and they shut it down probably about an hour or so ago. And I've been trying to figure this out, how to do one myself in case uh, we come across that same scenario. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I figured I might be able to at first, before I even went live, to try to get somebody to come on so we could talk a little bit. And I wasn't planning on actually going on air. If I could have just set it up and had somebody in there, then because there's that button down here for start the broadcast and stop the broadcast. But as far as any of the other controls, like Michelle and Dish have, giving out wrenches and uh, deleting or kicking somebody out and all that, I have no earthly idea what I'm doing. Said this is a popping my cherry tonight or this morning. And usually those that are up real late, I usually see a Gear and I usually see a Jay Greg or somebody. But but I didn't get anybody in. So I figured I'd just do it to see if I was doing it right and I could actually go live. And when you came in, I said, well, at least I know I'm live and getting out, so I can maybe host a chat. But I'd sure like to figure out the controls on it first, because I make a fool of myself pretty easily. No, he didn't even come into Mike's tonight. We figured he might have had something else going on because he didn't even step in. And Mike lost internet there for a minute or something. It went off air, and so he had to restart one up. And when we switched over, there was probably 10 or 15 people that didn't get back to this second half. And then Mike was getting pretty tired. I think he decided to call it a night before he did his sleeping routine on us. Anyway, strange sitting here talking to myself and just reading a comment that you're making, but I sure am glad that you came by. And now that I know how to do it, I can maybe send some people a message saying get ready for one or something, and I can send them those that are interested. I could send them the link, and then I can get it all started and maybe figure this thing out. So anyway, Cyber, I appreciate you dropping in, popping my cherry for me. Have a safe one and a nice one, buddy. And I guess we'll talk to you later. Be safe. Oh, there's Gear right there. Gear. Let me send you if I can figure this out. Hang on. Just step in here with me for a minute here, Gear. And tell me if I'm doing it. Gee. There you go. Tell me when you got it, or if you want to pop in, there it is. Cyber, like I said, I can send you one if you care to drop in. Let's see. Get over here again. Finally eating supper, Gear. You mean early breakfast? Yeah, this is the time of night when we used to stop at a Denny's on the way home from being out, or some greasy spoon or a truck stop. We had a pretty long discussion on pizza tonight. Food was one of the topics for a little while. And everybody was missing you. They said you didn't even drop in and say howdy or anything else. But yeah, I don't know if you knew Jammy Time Bacon didn't have one tonight. The girls didn't uh, say they weren't or anything else. They just left us hanging, I guess. And so Mike stepped up and started one. And so we did have a chat, but it was Mike's. And at one time, I guess we had 20, I want to say probably 25, something like that. And then when Mike lost the internet or it went off air, uh, when he set another one up and finally got back on, we'd lost about half the viewing audience. And Oh, sorry about that. Glad they got a cough button. Yeah, a buddy of mine, uh, another trucker, he left his other place and he's gonna start driving for Walmart. He told me that he's got to be up there in Fayetteville, Arkansas. I think he said Monday morning. I don't know if it's like a 2 week course up there or what, but uh, the guy's got better than 1,000,000 miles under his belt. But I guess they still have to go through some kind of training for them special. Uh, I don't know what they could teach him, but he's not used to doing electronic logs, and I think Walmart's electronic logs. He won't like that because he was a hard runner. I see a volume control up here. Am I coming across loud enough, or should I turn this thing up? I don't know. You're this guy. I mean, I love him like a brother. He's probably one of my closest friends I've had. We used to be chauffeurs together way back in the day, and that was when I first got off the road, and I'd been chauffeuring for 15 years, and he wanted to get out and be a trucker, so he went and got his CDL, and wasn't but a couple of months he called me up and just kept begging me to come back out on the road, and we'd be a team, and finally he convinced me, and we went out, and I tell you, he was a rookie. He couldn't back up for a squat, and but he picked up things pretty good. Like I said, now he's got well over 1,000,000 himself. Hey, Groovy, let me send you a link. I need somebody in here with me. You do that? Let's see if I can figure this out again. I guess that's all I have to do. I don't know if I have to click something else somewhere. I have no earthly idea. But it says I got 6 viewers, but only 3 of them that I can see. So I'm probably making a big fool of myself, but it won't be the first time nor the last. I'm sure of that. Oh, hi and bye. Well, hi and bye. You could have come on here and said hi and bye. Maybe somebody else will pop in. Oh, you're on your phone. Okay, I understand. Yeah, that's true, Gear. But sitting here just talking to you when you type it rather than actually hearing a voice, it kind of reminds me when I first started doing videos. Sit here and you just got that camera up here in front of you to start talking to, and almost like it has to be scripted. And I'm sure a lot of them do script it, have their notes laying all around and trying to figure it out. I, first few I tried to edit and do a few different things with it, but finally I said, nah, that's not worth all that. I'll just put it up there with the mistakes and everything else. I don't doubt that a bit. But I sent her a link just to see if she wouldn't mind coming in and helping me out, her and Dish both. But so they know I was trying. I think I did it on this one. I might have been one of my first 3 attempts when I didn't even know if I was getting out or. And I guess I'm going to have to change my background screen, because the first 2 I kept going and trying to figure it out, and I said, well, that's Mike's background. So apparently he and I used the same one there, so I'll have to change that. So mine will have to be unique if I can figure out how to change that too. I'm still trying to figure out the computer itself, let alone trying to do a chat. Damn. Hey, PG. Yo. Would you like a link? I'm trying to get somebody in here where I can talk to somebody face to face rather than reading the comments and making. See. Well, at least I'd say my first time I've had 6 or 7 people on. Well, I'm sure a lot of them went to bed. Yeah, well, I'm starting to lose my voice. I've had a long day. Because what did I do? I guess I got up around 4 o'clock this morning. Went in and sweated to death detailing the truck. But at least that thing looked nice, and on the inside it was shining. I didn't even use any. I forgot the name of it. I mean, I just used Dawn with the damp rags and scrubbed everything down that way. Armor All. I didn't even Armor All, and it was still glistering. Well, yeah, of course I got paid to clean it. It wasn't my truck. And the thing was, the owner of the company, I told him, I said, I just can't believe it, because I've set this particular truck up with a air gun, to blow out the dirt and the dust and all that. And I've also put a whisk broom and a pan in there. And I swear this guy hasn't cleaned it out for, well, you just wouldn't believe what it looked like. And I told the owner that I was doing it just so I could get some hours in, so I could get some pocket money again. But I told him he needs to tell these guys if they can't do a better job than cleaning that, or if I have to come in and clean their truck for him, he needs to dock them a couple hours and give me that pay also. He said that works for him. So anybody's truck that I go to clean, they're going to be told they're going to be docked 2 hours if they don't clean their frickin' trucks themselves. Because this was pathetic. I mean, the way I see it is, it's not, it's somebody else's truck. So you keep it clean, you keep it functional. And these other guys, this is what makes their living for them, their paycheck. So why not keep that sucker clean on the inside? They're living in that truck 11 hours a day, and to be trashed out the way this one was. And I talked to the mechanic because I found, shattered glass all underneath certain things and everything. And I said, when was a window broke in there? And he said, oh, well, the wing vent was broken there. He said, it's got to be close to 2 months ago. I said, okay, well, that tells me that it's been 2 months at least since he's attempted to clean it out, because there's a lot of glass in there. Yeah, that's what I used, was a microfiber cloth. Uh, and they work better than what I thought they did. And they actually almost work like a scrub when I was scrubbing that floor, getting the floor mats to actually be black again rather than dirt colored. But the guy's going to be really surprised uh, come Monday morning at 5 o'clock when they have to leave the yard. Open that son of a bitch up, and he's going to think he's climbing into the wrong truck. But one thing I didn't do, I didn't put it back underneath the tanker trailer. But I pulled it out so it would fit in the wash bay a whole lot better. And when I pulled it out, that fifth wheel was shining. It didn't have virtually any grease except for down in the grooves. So I greased it all up and everything. But like I said, I didn't put it back under the trailer, so you'll have to hook it up, put it under there, and I better get at least a thank you. I was going to leave him a note uh, telling him I better not find that truck in that shape again, but I got sidetracked with something else, and then I was ready to leave, and I didn't realize until I was a couple of miles from there that I forgot to leave a note. Well, I tell you, you got to be careful with the Armor All. Man, you put, I remember way back, I had put it on a seat and on the steering wheel, and floor mats. That shit gets slippery. Hit your brakes real hard, and you actually slide out of your seat if you're not strapped in. But like I said, I just used Don. Oh, and that side box, man, he had 3 tubes of grease back there. One of them was smashed where grease was all over the chain and all over the spare antifreeze or coolant and the oil. So, God, this thing was a mess. Just incredible. But it's all clean now. Like I said, I didn't have anything else to do today. So I wanted to go, like I said, go in and make a little bit of money. So I'll do this. And the owner asked me a couple of weeks ago, he's been trying to get me to actually be an employee for quite a few times now. Told him no still, but see, he bought this hydro excavator, and I'm supposed to be the one over it. And I told him, I said, well, you know, I'm I don't consider myself an employee. I just come when I'm needed to help out, and I'll be damned if I'm going to be full time for anybody. Because if I say, yeah, I work for you, then you get to tell me what to do. Because as it is right now, there's a couple of places that call me and say, hey, can you, will you, would you? Because I can always say yes or no. That's the way I like it. Because if I got something to do, I got something to do. I don't have to go in and drive a truck around or. What do you say? Oh yeah, the pedal rubbers. Yeah. And nothing like your foot sliding off that brake pedal when you're at a stop sign with the clutch down and your foot slips off the clutch or whatever. Uh, I think I've had it all happen to me one time or another in all my years out there. But that's like getting back in after you've fueled up somewhere and they had a puddle of diesel out there that you had to step in. And then you get in there and, man, that'll get your boots to slide off a clutch pedal real quick. Well, guys, it's 2 o'clock my time. That's 3 o'clock most of you's, except for CCT. And he's probably 6, 8 hours different, something like that. Yeah, it does make a difference. It's been, I guess, 2011. Yeah, 2011. Ever since then, uh, it's dwindled. I used to go help out probably 6 or 7 different drivers, from a cattle hauler to a tanker to a rock bucket. Uh, and, if they wanted to take a week off or something like that, I'd go do their runs or whatever for them. But it's down to 2. Once in a while, it's a third one, but one of them has been using me ever since 2011. Uh, he's the one that always wanted me to come full time, and I don't want to brag or be humble, but he says that I know more about the equipment on his yard than the people that he hired to do them. I think he just keeps building me up because he wants me to say, yeah, I'll come on board. But 8 a.m. there. Oh, you got a full day ahead of you there, CCT. Oh, well, I see Judge Janine is coming on, and it's 2 o'clock. So I'm going to call it a night and watch her show, since I missed the 11 o'clock one because I was on a chat. Thank you guys for dropping in. I really do appreciate it. And now I can at least figure it out, or I have figured it out. Next time, before I go live, I'll have somebody on the panel with me. Thanks again, guys. Good night.